We are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk episode 92, where we get our weekly dose of hot takes, discuss recent K-pop news and events, and give you the state of the nation. Boom. Hot takes with Harold. Let me go get cousin Harold so he could deliver the weekly hot take.
All right.
Good old Harold. I wonder what he ate for dinner, you know? Cause right now we're recording this around 8 p.m.
I ate Stray Kids' tang, ta, tang.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So
Harold, do you like the Stray Kids song, Harold?
Bro, I love soup. So the weekly hot take is groups lose prestige once a member leaves. Boom.
Oh man.
Bye-bye.
Hey, see man, have fun with your soup.
Okay.
Groups lose prestige once a member leaves. Oh man.
I thought, right?
Okay.
When we first were thinking about doing this take, I think it's very easy to be like, well, no crap, right? Like, once you lose members, like you lose by prestige, we mean like overall image, how people view the group, that kind of thing. That's I think what we mean there. It's very easy to be like, well, no crap. When members leave, the group looks worse, right?
Yeah.
After thinking about it for a while, I think it really rests on when the member leaves.
100% agree on that. Yeah, timing has a lot to do with it.
If you lose a member after like the first song, second song, third song, people are like, oh, that's kind of weird, right? But you're not at your peak yet. I think it really comes down to, did you lose a member in the peak? And I also think it comes down to how important was this member to the group? Because although we sometimes don't like to admit it, every group, well, maybe not every group, many groups have what I would call quote-unquote filler members.
Yes.
That's my initial impression about this. We could talk about it more, but how do you guys feel about this?
I generally agree. I immediately thought of EXID.
Okay.
Because EXID wasn't always 5 members, you know?
Right. Yep.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in the beginning, they had 5 members. But it was a different set of 5 members.
Yeah, they
where,
switched some stuff around.
Right. 3 of them eventually left after like 2 singles. I think one of them had a whole like controversy with like plagiarism and whatnot. And 3 of them left to join Bestie.
I
remember Bestie.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bestie.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, 3 people left, 3 people were there, 2 people joined, so they began with 6 people. Okay, yeah. And that being said, while I was explaining this, the both of you guys were like, "Oh yeah, that was the thing," and I'm sure my listeners were like, "Oh yeah, that was the thing. I forgot," or like, "I didn't even know." So I mean, if you think about the EXID legacy, you know, up and down and like whatnot. And then if you think about the 3 members who who just left after the first couple songs, no, I don't think it really matters. It just depends on the timing. I agree in general.
Okay, so the opposite example, right?
Right?
I know this might be a sore subject still, but like,
Yeah.
iKON losing BI, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, he was one of the producers of many of their songs. It feels like the soul of iKON kind of left with him, right?
Yeah.
Because he was heavily pushed alongside Bobby for the longest time, right? They were the two-headed monster of iKON. Now that he's gone, it also comes down to circumstance, obviously, right? So his leaving was kind of unfortunate, happened very sudden.
Controversy along with it.
Yeah. I think that they were at peak, if not a little bit past peak, right? But what I mean by peak is like when a member leaves, once the group has been very established, everyone knows who they are. Then becomes says, I remember when iKON had all the members. You remember how good they were. That's the discussion, right? I think it really comes down to timing, because when you lose members at the peak, everyone then remember, regardless of how good the peak was or wasn't or whatever it was, right? People always look back at that time.
Yeah.
And they encapsulate, although a lot of the times it came down to the music they released and how big the group was, people in their mind they have this image of the group when they were at the peak, which included that lineup.
Yeah.
When you don't have that lineup anymore, everyone's like, you remember back in the day? Like, when Choa left AOA.
Oh.
Right? AOA is iconic because they were centered by the blonde girl with the short hair for a long time, especially in the vocal department, right?
Yeah.
Post Choa era to pre Choa leaving era are two completely different AOAs.
You know, I think one of the more like past examples was Girl Generation.
Yep.
Uh,
I don't think we can't go over this topic without Jessica and how
yeah.
everything, all the marketing material. There were like 9 members, the 9 stars of this. 8. 8 from now on.
Very suddenly.
It was very sudden. And I think a key difference between AOA and Girl Generation was that Choa, yes, there were fans that were disappointed, but in general, she left on okay terms.
Yep.
Nobody was openly angry.
Yep.
Nobody. Choba didn't go through an entire like scandal of like this, that. She just kind of left because of her personal reasons.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about a lot of the members that leave, they sometimes are kicked out because they did something wrong. There's a huge controversy and the group cannot promote with them. That being said, I think with that in mind, if they leave with like such a huge disaster, of course the prestige is all fluffed up, like it's just messed up now. But like, I think AOA was able to kind of continue their career in a nice, okay manner because Choa left on like okay terms. Sure, there were angry fans, but like from a general public perspective,
The reasoning
like,
behind it.
the reasoning behind it was like, well, she's not. Yeah.
Talking about Girls' Generation specifically, Catch Me If You Can, which was the first one without Jessica, broke their streak of going number 1 in Korea on the charts.
It was a big impact, I think. People
It was a
kept talking
humongous
about
impact.
it.
Now,
Yeah.
I get that people need to leave groups. Like, you got to think Hyuna left Wonder Girls back in the day, but that's not the lineup of Wonder Girls you ever think about, right? I think I don't even think this is like groups lose prestige. I'm thinking about the take, right? Groups lose prestige. This might not even be a take, right?
I actually kind of want to spin it around because I feel like we're kind of running out of things to say.
Okay, go.
I have a new question in mind, right? Okay, let's say I think we didn't really get you to speak, but I think we in general agree that like if the timing is right, leaving is okay.
Yeah.
You agree?
The
Okay.
earlier, the less it's effective, I guess.
Right? Let's say too late for that. They are already midway in their career. Somebody has to leave. Do we make the reason public, or do we keep it private? And as in, do we just make them leave without making any of their controversial stuff public and known, or do we just let them go silently? Now, let me lay out the pros and cons here, right? Because if you let them go without any public announcement, if you will.
Are you assuming that the media does not know why they left?
I mean, they might not, but the media doesn't make it public, is what I'm saying. Like, for example, like the Cherry Bullet members. We don't know why they left.
Oh.
The Momoland girls, why did they leave? Nobody knows.
Well, we kind of know why some of them left. Daisy.
Well, excluding Daisy. I'm talking about the other two. Like.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you think this is not super interesting?
I feel like
Are you basically saying, do the fans deserve to know why? Is that what you're saying?
Right, because if the company respects the fans, they should make it public in terms.
Is that
of
what you
why they're
think?
leaving. But I'm kind of mixed on this because from a general public perspective, if they know why, then that like kicks out the prestige. Like.
the image is ruined if the information gets out.
Right. Let's say a member did something bad, and they have to kick that person out. The members might be willing to be like, oh, wait, you know what? We'll let you go. But like the general public might be like, oh my goodness, that was the group with the kid who did that? Like, come on.
I mean, to be honest, I've always viewed it this way, where the departure of a member in a group, the reasoning behind it, and if it's controversial, I never really saw it as that controversy carrying on and making the group that's still together look bad. To be honest, I feel like it fell more on the person that has left.
I disagree
and more
with
like
that.
their reputation. Really?
I
Okay.
disagree because I think the general population's perception plays a lot into which groups make it or not. I don't think it has a humongous effect, but let's say a group is on its way up and then someone does something ridiculous, right? Whenever they hear that, like this, so whenever you're introduced in the news, you're like, for example, it's like 17's like this member, right? 17's Vernon. You're always tagged with your group before you leave. Now, obviously 17's not a good example because they've already blown up, but if you're a group that hasn't blown up, that might be the general public's first exposure to your group. Isn't like your member doing something ridiculous, and from then on, you're linked to that.
Member of this group.
That's why I think it honestly. I think more or less the discussion is does the public deserve the right to know, and I think a lot of that plays into the fact that the public does pay for this product, right? Because technically they're monetarily invested in a lot of these groups, specifically in Korea.
It comes down to the problem of, do you want to satisfy your existing customers, or do you want to disinterest potential customers?
That's a good way to put it.
I know, right?
I personally think that it should be public information if someone does something bad.
If it's controversial. I
think so. I think if the member, because here's the thing, normally if the member just wants to leave, they'll pen a letter on the way out. They'll say, I want to leave because I'm done with this part of my life, yada, yada, yada. Sorry, right? But we're talking about people leaving groups because of bad circumstances, more specifically.
Right.
I also feel that generally it will come out to some extent, but
yeah, it's hard to know.
It's hard to cover things up, especially if there was an arrest or something. That's public information that's gonna come out. Now, if there's things happening behind the scenes, should the public... That's a little bit where I draw the line, because sometimes it's like, do we deserve to know everything that goes on behind the scenes? I personally don't think we as fans should be entitled to everything that goes on.
So, to put it into scope, let's say that the six of us was a group. You, me, us three, Harold, Hubert, Henrietta. Let's say the six of us was a group. Let's say... Harold, that boy, was caught. Let's say he was caught doing cocaine. Very bad, right? And it becomes a huge controversy. Well, it has the potential to become a huge controversy. Do we announce that Harold is leaving because he was caught doing cocaine?
If he was caught doing cocaine, the public, the problem with your argument here is that if he was caught doing cocaine, the public would already know because of the police.
Well, the police... in many cases,
are you saying that he has an internal drug problem that the police are not aware of? You're saying the company found out?
No. Sure, maybe the company found out. There have been many cases.
No, I feel that that's the only way you can make this argument.
There have been many cases where there were like idol singer B was caught doing this, that. There have been many cases of that.
But they don't release the idol's name?
They don't release who it is.
Oh, okay.
It's not every time we find out someone actually did that. There has been multiple cases where, like, somebody...
Alright, I'll buy into your logic here.
Yeah. Somebody did it. We don't need an idol, apparently. Who knows? So if Harold. One of the kids was caught doing cocaine, Harold, and then do we announce that he was doing cocaine? So he's leaving?
Are we speaking as a member, or are we speaking as the company? You're not making it clear.
I think the company usually does the announcement.
I guess, from the company perspective.
Well,
Doug, you're the main producer, Doug.
Most likely, if it's not going to become public unless we do, Harold would probably say don't, because he has a camaraderie with the other members and doesn't want to drag their careers down with his.
They will remain anonymous.
So they go silent.
I would most likely think that would happen. I think that's the most probable outcome.
Oh, do we carry on promoting with Harold in the team, even though we know?
No. Your whole premise was that he's leaving.
Okay. Because the fans will be like, "Why is Harold leaving? Who's gonna deliver the hot takes?"
Well, then there comes a question of like, how much do you want to divulge to fans who are like invested in this group, right?
Right.
So it's.
I don't. If I'm to be completely honest, there's no way it would get out. No way. Because you have to think, at the end of the day, this is a money game. If people find out our members are doing cocaine, they would probably assume someone else might be doing cocaine, which ruins our group.
Yeah, they would have to.
There's no way that a company would like say our member we're kicking him out because he did cocaine, y'all. Like, there's no way that's gonna happen. There's no way, because it would screw our group.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Am I crazy? Am I
No,
wrong with that?
I think you have a very good point. I was just very sad because our fans will be like, well, why is he leaving?
Well, we should be like, bro, if you found out though, like,
You wouldn't like it.
That's like, I would rather, as a company, be like I know obviously it's terrible that he's doing something like that, but from a if we're talking cutthroat business at the end of the day, because we need to make money and do this thing up, there is 0% chance we're the ones trying to release this info. We ain't gonna be like, we kicked out Harold, bro was doing blow in the bathroom, fam. Like, there's no way monetarily.
I just want to note that our podcast does not support doing drugs.
Of course
Do drugs. No, don't do cocaine, guys. Bad.
But,
we'll kick you out.
So let's wrap this up. This is kind of weird. It's got hypothetical and weird. Groups losing prestige once a member leaves. Of course, once members leave, everyone has questions. Everyone's a little bit confused, especially people who have been along with the group since the beginning, right? But I think what we've kind of cumulatively decided is it really depends on timing. If you leave at the peak, everyone's going to have an image of that peak in that lineup. But if you leave before things happen or way after the peak has happened, there's probably less prestige loss. But I would say overall, everyone kind of look at, like, especially when you're looking at Wikipedia groups and you look at past members, the more people you got on there, the more weird you look at that group. Yeah. I think, inherently.
Also, I feel like every group has a member leave at some point now.
I mean, the thing about K-pop is every group will, I don't know if everyone wants to palate this, get ready. Every group will end at some point.
Oof. It's the cold truth.
It's the cold truth, yo.
Nothing is forever.
In one form or another, officially, unofficially, at some point it's over, right?
Anita, does it hurt you that Jax Kiss is only 4 members now?
That's a tough situation because that guy kind of deserves not to promote based on what he's done.
I mean, he kind of took himself out of the group at the time. Yeah, and the news came out. But yeah, it does. I feel like from a fan perspective, of course, it's a little weird and disappointing depending on the circumstances these members are leaving, right? Like, usually you would hope that it's like personal reasons, like trying to do different things, going a different direction. But unfortunately, there are times where it's controversy that goes alongside this departure, and it makes it harder to
Can I spin this into
have this
another
break? Yeah.
side discussion real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's talk about this for 5 minutes. What do you feel about groups adding members after they debut?
Oh my god. Dude, are we gonna do this now? I thought we were saving this for a sake.
You want to save this for a couple weeks from now?
I thought we were waiting this for Eyes One and Rocket Punch. You told me we are. I can't do this in 5 minutes. Okay,
let's save this then. Let's save this. All right, so
I can't do this in 5 minutes.
This might not have been the most hottest of takes, but feel free to give us some suggestions as to some spicy ones. But remember, like, we have to be able to, sometimes not every take will be the most spicy take. Sometimes it's fairly obvious, and sometimes the bigger story is not if it's spicy or not, but the things behind the answer in this case, which a lot of it has to do with timing. All right. News and events from last week. But before we begin, on June 17th last week, it was announced that TST's Johan had passed away at the age of 28. The cause of death was not revealed at the family's request. And personally, from SojuTalk, our condolences to his family and loved ones. May he rest in peace. Really unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right, but let's get into the news now. So, Sports Chosun's Best in K-Pop 2020. I added this one this morning. So on June 22nd, K-pop media outlet Sports Chosun released the results of their Best in K-pop poll for the year of 2020. From June 3rd to the 14th, the media outlet polled representatives from 50 different agencies on a variety of K-pop categories. The representatives gave responses from first to third place for each category, with first place earning 3 points, second 2 points, third place 1 point. I think we've covered this in the past, but the first category, power people that move the industry. BTS came in first place with 68 points. Second place was Isuman, who's the head of SM. He came in at 58 points. Third place was Bang PD at 47 points. Fourth place was JYP at 23 points. And fifth place was IU at 18 points.
Wow.
IU.
Wow.
IU being at 18, I think, is quite interesting, right?
I like that.
That is.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't dislike it.
All right, next one. Best producer. First place, Bang PD, 101 points. Second place, Isuman, 65 points. Third place, JYP, 37 points. Fourth place was a tie of Zico and Teddy at 11.
Teddy.
Interesting.
Teddy.
Interesting.
Yeah, Teddy. You know, Teddy produced the Blackpink song for next week.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
along with RT and whatnot. But I mean, Teddy has been one of the best producers of K-pop all time. But like
Of course.
recently,
It feels like I'm gonna make a funny take here.
okay. Better be
Teddy
funny.
is stuck making music that he used to make with Big Bang and 21, and specifically the era before he dated Han Yesu.
That's very specific, but I agree.
It's kind of true, right?
Dude, if you go back to listen to some of our takes on Blackpink, every time I'm like, this sounds dated. Kill This Love, dude. That looks and sounds like it's from
I'm
2012.
hoping Teddy totally redeems himself with the Blackpink song for
Yeah.
next week.
I hope so too.
But next category was Best Male Idol Group, BTS. So the maximum first place points you could get is 150, right? Because there's 50 people, 3 points for first place. BTS got 141. Second place was EXO with 53. Third place was 17 at 25. Fourth place NCT at 17 points. Fifth place was Big Bang at 9. And sixth place Monster X at 7 points.
Who didn't vote number 1 for BTS?
I don't know. But some
Wild
did.
people. Small brain move.
I kind of agree with this list. I don't know about the order, but BTS, EXO, 17, NCT, Big Bang, Monsta X, those are kind of the big players right now. I kind of agree with that. Next, Best Female Idol Group. Twice in first place with 111. Second place, Blackpink at 69 points. Third place, Red Velvet, 24. Fourth place, Oh My Girl, 13. Fifth place, IZ*ONE, 11. Sixth place, G-Idol, 10. Yo, Oh My Girl.
Yo, oh my girl.
Oh
Wow.
My God, fourth.
Wow.
The
Yo.
rise.
Yo.
Public perception.
Yo.
I know they're only 2 points higher than IZ*ONE, but Oh My Girl's having a tremendous 2020 right now.
I'm happy for them.
Wild.
Because about like last year, you would expect like Mamamoo to be maybe 4th, 5th, or 6th, right?
Yeah.
So. Next, Best Male Solo Artist. First place, Zico, 71 points. Second place, Rain
Let's go.
at 38 points. Fourth place, Paul Kim at 23. No, third place, Paul Kim at 23. Fourth place is a tie between Baekhyun and G-Dragon at 16 points. And then fifth place was a tie, 3-way tie between Park Hyo-shin, Jang Bum-jun, and then Im Young-woong, who won the male trot survival show, and they all had 14 points.
Wow. Let's talk about Rain real quick.
Rain.
My guy.
He's so popular right now.
He's blowing up.
Right?
Okay, I'm kind of starting to feel like this meme is going on for a little too long. But at the same time, it is very wild how like he has bounced into like this enjoyable meme status with a very unfavorable song, if you will.
One Day One Gang.
Second place.
Well-
It's fun crazy.
You just cursed, but that's okay. So the next one
Oopsie,
we
my
had
bad.
the best female solo artist. So
Sorry.
first place, IU at an incredible 115 points. Second place, Taeyeon at 52. Third place, Chungha, 38. Fourth place, Haze, 21. Sunmi at fifth place with 17. Sixth place, Ihyori at 11. Ihyori's because she's also in that project group with Rain
Yes.
and Yujae-seok. That makes sense. The rest of this list, I kind of agree with it and this order, I would say.
I agree.
IU, Taeyeon, Chungha, Haze, Sunmi. Definitely top 5 right now.
Definitely top 5.
Next one, Best of K-pop's Future. First place, and the way they worded this was like 기대해, so like the groups you are expecting the most from in the future. First place, TXT, 60 points. Second place, ITZY, 43 points. Third place, SM's Rookie Girl Group already has 13 points.
Oh man.
And then in fourth place was a 3-way tie with 7 points, and it was Gravity, Treasure, and ATEEZ.
Oh.
SM Rookie Girl Group already
Interesting.
getting points is kind of that's pretty interesting. Lastly, we had Best Agency. First place, SM, 90 points. Second place, Big Hit at 83. Third place, JYP at 48. Fourth place, YG with 8 points. How do we feel about Big Hit being behind SM still?
Interesting.
I
You
think
think,
if
you
we-
think some of it's on Legacy?
that's what I was thinking, cause like, if you look at just the scope of 2020, Big Hit did venture out into different parts of the industry. Like they made a game, like they had a whole live stream thing, it was Weverse, and like, I do think 2020 was, as an agency, Big Hit was very notable, and I would personally say Big Hit is number one over SM. But like, at the same time, SM does have a very. Actually, no, I don't know.
No, I think people are waiting for Big Hit, and now that they've acquired a lot of companies, I think a lot of people are just waiting to see what happens before they crown them as number one. All right, next main topic: girl group accomplishments. IZ*ONE's Oneric Diary, with 389,000 albums sold, broke the Hanteo record for most albums sold by a girl group in the first week. They broke their own record with Bloom Eyes, which previously held the record at 356,000. The other three albums on the list are More and More at 330,000, Feel Special 154,000, and Fancy You 151,000. Of course, all of those are from Twice. Wow, IZ*ONE sells incredibly well.
Yeah. Fans.
It was crazier because I saw a bunch of people that were like, we actually bought these albums just in case people think we're manipulating. We actually bought these albums. They were just posting pictures of them buying albums. And I was like, this is
Can I
wild.
make a quick aside? I bought 2 copies, the Oneric version and the Diary version. There's a third version, a 3D version. If you put the spines together, it spells IZ*ONE only if you have all 3 versions of it.
Oh, that's kind of.
I'm debating if I buy the
marketing.
third one now.
Oh man, that's man. Thank you, Rocket Punch, for not doing that.
Yeah, please don't do that. My wallet hurts. But the next news is Twice related. So, Twice now have the second most number 1 albums on the Oricon chart, which is Japan's main chart, all time for female foreign artists, surpassing Mariah Carey and Madonna.
Wow.
Mariah Carey and Madonna.
Only BoA's 7 number 1 albums is ahead of Twice's 6.
Whoa.
Oh man.
I think a lot of people forget how big BoA is in Japan.
Huge.
Arguably her Japanese career, no, I don't think it's even arguably, her Japanese career has been better than her Korean career, I think.
Yeah, it's true.
True?
True.
Lastly, Blackpink will unveil their pre-release single, How You Like That, on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon on June 26th. This will mark the show's first time featuring a performance by a K-pop girl group. Following How You Like That, the group will release another pre-release song sometime between July and August, with the full album set to release in September.
Can I be honest about something? I have to admit something.
Mm-hmm.
Up until last week, every time you mentioned Blackpink and YG, I make fun of them. I was frustrated. I was unhappy. I saw the teasers. The hype train is going 200 miles an hour. There we go. There we go. There we go.
You know, I was just about to say the same exact thing. I've made jokes at Blackpink's expense over the past year, right?
Yeah.
Probably even since Doo I've made these jokes. For some reason, maybe it's because I saw Lisa on Youth With You, or maybe because the teaser photos are crazy. I am so hype for Blackpink to come back. Now, I think that if you think about who's been releasing music recently, specifically in 2020, I know Red Velvet released, they're having the unit debuts confirmed now for the first week of July, which is their first thing in 2020, because if you remember, Psycho was at the tail end of 2019.
Yeah.
The only top tier girl groups have released stuff in 2020 are Twice and IZ*ONE, right?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I know Twice's song More and More is kind of different for Twice, but if you think about the overall 3 songs, Fiesta, Secret Story of the Swan, More and More, it's kind of safe songs, right? Nothing like Girl Crush. We've had kind of the same notes lately, right? I wouldn't say any of those songs are incredibly so different than the rest of the stuff out there, right?
Yeah.
Are they? I think a lot of it comes down to that they execute it well and the production level is very high. If Blackpink comes with this this girl crush banger, which I'm expecting it to be, right? And it is good. It's gonna shake up the whole game, I think.
Of course.
The leaders,
Yep.
the OGs of the girl crush scene, come in to crush everybody.
Oh.
I want this Blackpink like saga where we're gonna get the pre-release and the album. I want it to do really well because I think it'll be a game changer if it does.
Yeah.
Because
That
I think I really want the execution to finally meet the hype behind the Blackpink train.
finally.
Like I'm not that religious, throwing that out there. I have been praying for the I've been praying that Teddy made a good song and that it's a banger cuz like I want it so bad. So bad.
I am about 3% concerned that it's gonna sound like another Teddy track from 2012.
Please no.
3%.
Like, I hope it's another doo-doo-doo-doo. Like something like in that realm. Like I'm not a huge fan of Kill This Love. I just want something fuego. All right, that's my TED Talk on Blackpink.
Oh, okay.
The final main section is Big Hit developments. There's 5 things here. So Big Hit
Oh, man.
Japan are now recruiting female Japanese trainees born during 2001 or after. The agency did not state the specifics for the auditions, but it is believed to be a separate project from the Big Hit / Source Girl group.
They're opening up a lot of projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have a Japanese girl group at some point.
A needy
next-
competitor.
Next
Yeah.
one. So BTS and Big Hit have donated $1 million to Live Nation's Crew Nation campaign.
Oh wow.
Over 70 live concert crew members who were originally scheduled to work at BTS concerts in 2020 have received funding so far. The contribution will help aid over 1,000 live concert crew members to receive relief during these hard times, and the donation will also be matched by Live Nation.
Wow.
Kind of butchered that a little, but whatever. It is what it
mean,
is.
Charity,
Next,
any day.
I'm kind of butchering my words. There's a lot of the caffeine that I drank before this podcast today.
It's
So,
okay. It's okay.
Casting has begun for a new drama called Blue Sky, which will feature the BTS universe and the group's origin story. Filming will begin in September, with broadcast coming in 2021, likely on Netflix, is what people
Wow.
are thinking.
Oh man.
All 7 main actors casted who will portray the 7 BTS members will be rookie actors.
Oh, that's a lot of expectations, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh my god.
The next one. It was reported that 17 will not be able to perform on NBC's Show Music Core due to an ongoing rumored conflict between Big Hit and NBC. We all know there's politics sometimes between agencies and TV stations. NBC issued a statement, though, clarifying that they did send an invitation to the group. But that could mean anything.
Yo. Spicy.
That's kind of spicy. Lastly,
spicy.
IU will be singing the theme song Into the New Land, which we mentioned previously, live during the first broadcast of Island on June 26th.
Oh wow.
I'm kind of excited for that because, I'm a big IU fan. So that should be something cool.
They had a cool stage.
All right, finally, we're at quick take, so let me get through them. The first one. This is like a big brain, big industry news. So
Oh man.
in a roundtable meeting with executives from leading K-pop companies held in Seoul, Culture Minister Park Yang-woo pledged support to the global expansion of K-pop, including government subsidies, tax incentives, and the loosening of regulations related to the export of entertainment products. The meeting was attended by senior executives from leading K-pop agencies, including SM, JYP, Big Hit, FNC, and Starship.
That was an interesting move. Politically speaking.
That's like the government basically saying, like, we can make a lot of money if we loosen the way to export products.
I hope it works. I pay taxes.
Oh yeah,
They're my taxes.
I still forget that you pay Korean taxes. You pay
I-
double
I-
taxes, right?
Well, I don't pay taxes in Korea right now. Well, my parents do.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Next one, K-Contact 2020 announced some special stages, including Luna's going to be performing Cherry Bomb, AT's going to be doing Growl, Monsta X, Ju Honey is going to, plus IM are going to have a stage. Kim Jae-hwan and AB6's Park Woo-jin will also have a stage, and then G-Friend will do a valid version of one of their songs. K-Contact has started and is running 24/7 and will run between June 20th to the 26th, so go check that out.
Exciting.
Next, We Entertainment has confirmed that they will indeed be debuting their new boy group, which is tentatively called We Boys, during the second half of 2020. That one's likely to include Johan from X1 and a bunch of other former contestants and other... They're also like former member from other groups, so go check that out. Little bit of oof news now. Boy group Trey confirmed their disbandment after little more than 1 year after their debut. All members have ended their contracts with Banana Culture.
Oh no.
We talked about Banana Culture a couple months ago and how they were in a bit of a problem financially and how they were getting rid of people, things like that.
Oh man.
We'll have to see. I think one of the former Produce 48 girls is in Banana Culture, right? One of the
Kim
groups.
Na-young.
Kim Na-young.
Oh, yes. I
Did
remember
they ever
her.
debut a girl group or no?
Nope.
Nope.
She's still in the banana basement. Or actually, did she leave? I hope she left.
Lastly,
Company.
the prosecution have ruled that PD An and then I think it's CP Kim, were innocent of charges of fraud related to Produce 101 Season 2 following a reinvestigation. This is specifically for Season 2. They still have the charges and the sentencings for the other season, but the pair have been sentenced... Wait, okay, let me... I don't even know what I'm saying. So, they're innocent for Season 2, but the charges will remain for all of the other seasons. So... There was just not enough evidence for Season 2 specifically.
Interesting.
We'll see what happens.
But now we are at comebacks and releases. Warren, hit us with them.
All right, let me clear my throat real quick. All right, June 23rd on Tuesday, we have Golden Child and Ravi featuring April's Naun. June 24th on Wednesday, we have ACE.
Ace.
Okay, Ace. I'm sorry.
Warren.
June 26th on Friday, we have Blackpink.
I think it's like that. Okay.
Blackpink coming with a pre-release, like we mentioned earlier, as well as Astro coming back with a summer digital single. Ooh, exciting! June 29th, Monday. It's a wild day because everybody and their mothers decided to come back. Because 86, Woods, aka Chosun from formerly from Produce, Third Eye, Sunmi, and Hwasa, all 5 of those acts will be coming back. And other confirmed comeback news. We have Sunmi on June 29th.
Oh, wait. That one's above. Might be.
So, there you go, folks. In other confirmed release news, we have Very Very from July 1st. Irene Silgi doing a duo unit on July 6th. Solji, formerly of EXID, on July 9th. G-Friend on July 13th. SF9 in July. Ravi collabing with Hasong-un in July. Solji coming back again in July. Pink Fantasy subunit coming back in July. ITZY coming back late July. And Park Bo-gum in August 10th. Park Bo-gum.
Wow.
Yeah, he's releasing a song.
An actor.
I think it's ahead of him going to the military.
Oh, I see.
Oh, man.
Something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think it's produced by Sam Kim, who's a singer.
Oh, Sam Kim. We mentioned him earlier.
All right, next week though, Golden Child gonna cover. Blackpink 100% gonna cover. AB6 we gotta cover. Sunmi and Hwasa we gotta cover. That's already 5 right there.
Oh,
man.
The other things we might not be able to get to. Not gonna lie, but July 6th, Irene Solgi, mad hype about that too.
That is very
Teasers
exciting.
out.
Yeah, super hype. All right,
Also,
State of the Nation. Anita, did you watch Road to Kingdom finale?
Yes, I did.
All right, so big spoiler alert now.
Spoilers.
You have about 5
Spoiler!
seconds before I ruin who won.
Spoiler!
5, 4, 3, 2,
Two.
1. All right. The boys were the only winner that will advance onto regular Kingdom.
Yeah,
Oh, my.
only one winner.
How do you feel about that, Anita?
Honestly, I feel like based on their very consistent performances, production value, I expected the boys to be at least one of the winners. I had hoped that the finale performance points would have gone to another group so that two groups would have been able to make it to the actual show, Kingdom. But I guess not. And I don't know. As I was watching the show and looking at the finale performances, I feel like it kind of had this very sad feeling. Like, I don't know, towards the end, I feel like the groups were saying like, yeah, even though the boys, I think they mentioned how they're going to be the ones going forward, but they hope that all of the groups that participated are able to receive like support and love from more fans, like more exposure, you know. And I don't know, it was like a very like bittersweet feeling, especially because only one group got to go on.
Do you want to hear something interesting?
Yeah.
On and Off placed second in both online views plus digital points and the finale live votes.
Oh man, that's sad.
So
Yeah.
no. That's a good thing. Like, I'm surprised going into the show. Did anyone think that On and Off would have beat Pentagon in the finale voting and stuff?
They've definitely benefited the most.
The most.
Like the exposure was really good for them.
Also, their song "New World" was my favorite song of the finale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was. I think for me, my favorite one was very, very, mostly because I
Beautiful X,
like
that
Yeah, Beautiful X. I like that they went back to their more youthful, I guess, were poppy.
Yeah, that's their bread and butter.
Yeah,
that
I
kinda
think
stuff.
it really suits them. So I'm glad they did that.
So the finale, right? So this is the order, the video views plus digital points and the finale live voto, they had the same ranking, the same order. First place, so basically this is like how you did in the finale. The boys first, On and Off second, Pentagon third, One Us fourth, and Very Very fifth. And that exact ranking was how the finale, the total points at the end ended up. So the boys finished the show with 95,000, On and Off with 78, Pentagon with 60, One Us with 40, Very Very with 31. So it was a big gap at the end.
Yeah.
I was hoping though, like, On and Off could like somehow make it onto Regular Kingdom, because I'm really into On and Off right now.
I think for me, the one thing that also like was at the back of my mind was like how Pentagon was like the senior group in this whole show, and I don't know, I felt really bad because I feel like the members were also hoping like, oh, we want to be first, like we've
They
always
did not
been
have
like
the
second
best
or third.
Road to Kingdom. They did not.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's like the concepts or like the sound that they were going for during the challenges, like the rounds, was just not sticking, or it wasn't really appealing to the general audience. I don't know, but I don't know, it feels a little sad.
I came out of Road to Kingdom realizing that Hui is one of the most skilled people in K-pop.
Such a great vocalist.
Like, Cube for some reason finds these kids who can do like everything, right? Soyeon and Hui are ridiculous. Those are the two main ones. And they're very similar, right? They produce the songs. Although Hui's a vocalist, Soyeon's a rapper, typically. I don't know. I thought going in that the boys and Pentagon were going to be the two groups that were going to go. And
here's what I'll say from my perspective, where I listened to you guys talk about the Road to Kingdom every week, because it kind of reminded me of a tournament arc in anime.
Oh.
Every shonen anime has a tournament arc.
Yeah.
A tournament arc means that there's a tournament during the whole season.
I hope so.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
Tournament arc. And there's a point where you start like there are not main characters. There's a whole wide set of characters. You start liking the characters that are not main characters, but the main characters move on, and you get attached to the characters that are not main, and you become really sad. But then they move on the next season to the state level tournament, right? They're done with the neighborhood level tournament. This is the state tournaments now. Guys, we gotta win this basketball challenge, and it becomes a whole another like adventure. So from that perspective, I can see how it's sad. I can see how it's kind of like, it's over, but like at the same time, I'm kind of excited to see where it's going.
I have no clue who's gonna be on actual Kingdom. Like,
it's gonna be EXO,
crazy.
BTS, NCT, Monster.
I think it is possible anyone minus BTS can show up on this show.
Oh my god.
Anyone minus BTS and then the older groups. I don't think they're not gonna show up.
It's gonna be Sataji and the boys.
Anyone who debuted after BTS that's not BTS has a decent shot of showing up here. I think
I
17
think-
could show up. I think Monster X could probably show up. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be crazy.
When is
Oh
it
my
set to
God.
air?
I think it's in the fall, I believe.
Okay.
I'm really
Yes.
excited because I really enjoyed Road to Kingdom. I didn't watch all the in between the performances stuff. I'll be honest, because like I'm not super invested, but I really like On and Off. They have their video packages. I remember even their last song. We thought that their concepting was crazy. They do this weird futuristic thing, and they
Yeah.
spend a ton of money, and it looks cool. I hope that On and Off, considering they're also from WM, has a Oh My Girl type rise over the next like
Yeah,
12
hopefully.
months, because they're honestly they're really personable. That was the main thing I got from them, and super skilled as well. Wyatt and Ishan, dude, they're so funny. But the only other thing I got for State of the Nation is there is a YouTube channel called Kpop Star. So bop meaning food.
Ah.
It's with Youngja and Kim Suk. They're two really famous Korean comedians.
Oh, I know what this is.
They bring idols out to the middle of nowhere, and they just feed them massive amounts of food. It's so funny. Like Monster X, they bought 35 kilograms of lobsters for them.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think some of the groups, Gravity was on there, IZ*ONE, Monster X, Oh My Girl, Uju Sonyo, groups like that, Newest were all on the show already, and they do have English subtitles for everything now. So funny.
They have Indian subtitles on this thing. Man.
Yeah, go
Nice.
check it out.
Get on
It's a
this joint.
purely YouTube product too, I believe, and there's 3 parts. Each episode's probably like 30-40 minutes. They do introductions, then they eat a ton, then they do performances. It's pretty fun. Go check it out.
Go check it out.
Other than that, I think that's kind of all I've been doing. What about you, Anita?
Well, most of my stuff has been really just Road to Kingdom.
Okay.
So
That's
Oh.
fair.
Warren.
That's a pass on Anita. Warren.
Oh boy, pass on touch. I last week off cam, after we recorded the episode,
Uh-huh.
Doug said something that I didn't take offense to. Don't get me wrong, but like I thought about
I'm
for a long time.
sorry.
No, I don't take offense to it at all. Don't
I feel like
worry.
I triggered you though.
No. I wasn't offended. I didn't take it personally, and I was like thinking about it a lot because I was like that. It's totally fair for him to say that and think that, and I was like that kind of makes sense. So, what he told me was that I was kind of being inconsistent with my song discussions. Like I like certain songs, I dislike certain songs. It's kind of inconsistent between what I do. One of the examples he pulled out was Butterfly and La La Li La La. And I kind of wanted to talk about how because we never really did this. We never went over like a background, behind the scenes kind of discussion about like how we talk about our songs, right? Because I pay attention to a lot of things when a song comes out, right? Like, I mean, sure, I don't have like a checklist that I check off while listening to the.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like pull out a pen and paper and go like, oh, it has nice mixing, check box. Like I don't do that, but like, I do listen to a lot of things. I pay attention to like arrangement, like mixing, mastering, the texture of the instruments. Like, I pay attention to the concept, the theme, the direction behind it. Like, is it cringy? Is it not cringy? Like, is it like, is there a good
factor.
flow? Yeah,
Cringe
like,
factor. I like that.
one thing I bring up a lot is like, does the soundtrack dated? Does it sound like it's kind of doing the same thing over and over again? Like, there's a lot of things that I place into whether like how I talk about songs, and like and that's largely because I recognize that like, sure, I mean like I might like a song on a personal level, and like I might dislike a song on a personal level, but like I want to talk about some interesting things and cool things that might open up more discussion. So that's kind of what I try to do, and that's where I realized that like, sure, Butterfly and La La Li La La, on a very core level, they're very similar songs.
Mm-hmm.
They both have a very synthy house track. They have a
Yeah.
very like complicated synth hook. Like, and there's a lot of things going on, but there's like subtle differences that I think make certain songs more likable for me compared to other ones. Like, for example, I pay attention to a lot of like the instrumental and the production and the overall balance.
The mixing.
Yeah. What I really liked about Butterfly was that the overall mixing was very well balanced. The instrumentals were very clear. Each layer was very crisp, while on the other hand, La La Li La La was a little more convoluted, a little more messy, and a little busy. That being said, of course, Butterfly is busy. On the other hand, you could easily argue the vocal mixing on Butterfly was horrifying. You can't tell who's singing. Everyone sounds like they're singing, and you don't know how many people are singing. That can also be made. And on the other hand, La 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 does have very good vocal mixing. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I kind of wanted to put that into perspective because, sure, I make the repeated joke that I see a ballad, I don't like it. That's the joke we pull all the time, right? That's a running meme. But like at the same time, the reason I do that is because when a ballad comes out, it is very frequent that it is recycling an overused trope.
Predictable.
Yeah, and at that point, it becomes like, why am I listening to this? Rather than, and there have been multiple instances where I'm sure I can't think of any examples, but like go back, there were instances where like we reviewed a ballad, and I was like, I like this song. You know, there have been cases. I'm not a crazy, heartless, horrible man. And I think a lot of it comes down to not simply my personal preferences, but like I want to give respect to like the people behind the scenes. I want to pay respect to like all the thought that is going into the direction and the theming. And of course, my personal bias comes out into it, but like I try a little bit to like isolate some of it out and then try to deliver a full take, if you will. Now that being said, I'm not doing it perfectly. I'm not Anthony Fantano. I know there are podcasts out there and there's blogs out there who like give numbers and like a grading rubric. Now I've been on the other end of that stick because I played violin for about 10 years of my life. And the latter couple years meant that I was going into competitions and I would play my concertos. And they'd be like, "Oh, your expression was a 7.5, but I will say, this was very high. This very good." And I was like, "Where are you pulling these numbers out of?" So I've seen people do it on a very good level. Like the person I mentioned earlier, Anthony Fantano, he's one of YouTube's most famous music reviewers.
Yeah,
and he does have a very consistent scale and a basis. And at the end of the day, I can't do that. That's why I think it's a really good thing that we don't give numbers. And like already with Spicy, we have consistency issues and whatnot. But let's bring this back. What I'm trying to say is, that's why I like Butterfly more than La La Li La La.
this was all to defend.
I don't know. No, but you get my point though, right? Like
I think it's good because sometimes. Well, let me talk about from my perspective.
Okay, let's get
I
personal
am
here.
very different than Warren in the way I view songs. One could call me a Korean caveman. I think, to be honest, 85% of how I like a song has to do with the first listen of the song.
I think that's very
grabbing
very
you.
important.
And
First
for
impression is
me,
important.
I'm very simple. The vibes are good. I like the song. Vibes are bad. I don't like the song. Like someone looks cute. That's good. Something's a little weird. I don't like that. You know, I don't think about the production at all. None of that. And
No.
I'm a very visual person. If people looking good on the screen, I'm like, I see you. But I do not think of the production at all, which is a very complete different than Warren. And I give a very, I'm a, as you can tell, I'm pretty much an optimist in life, right? Yeah. I look at the good points. I also don't like, I like to praise the effort. So I rarely say songs are straight up bad, right? Because
It's hard to say it.
from my perspective, it's like if it was me, it'd be 10 times as bad as even the song that I call bad. So I respect what they're doing, and my whole view on K-pop is I want everyone to do well, even though that's impossible.
No,
right?
I agree with that. I think a lot of it comes down to like on the contrary, I'm more of a pessimist of a human being. I know that makes Anita unhappy, but I mean, what are you gonna do? And on the other hand, there have been multiple points where I was like watching the video and I was like, this is good vibes. Why is it good vibes? and then like it's a problem, man.
Bro, I don't even think that far. I'm like, this makes
Enjoy
you're
the
lucky, man.
vibe.
This is what goes through my head. This make me feel happy. I like this. That's it. That's it. There's no further thought. I'm like,
no, trust me, that's a
Twice
good thing. I wish.
Twice is on the screen. I'm like, they look nice. And then the Twice song finished, and I'm like, I don't remember it. I guess this isn't that great of a song. That's literally how I think about this song. That's literally surface level. I'm like, and then I think why don't I like this? And I'm like, I don't remember it. Oh, okay. I guess I don't like this song that much. That's literally my thought process. Eyes One, I'm like, well, I hope this is an Eyes One song. I listened to it. I'm like, oh, this is an Eyes One song. Is this decent? That's pretty good. They look good. I like this song. That's it. That's how I think about K-pop. Very surface level. As you know, I think it reflects in the fact that I don't care for lore at all. I don't watch anyone's behind the scenes stuff other than like two groups that I like. Like I watch not even Twice. I don't really watch I watch like Twice. I mean, Eyes One additional content and like some Luna additional content, but that's about it. I'm very surface level, and I don't like things to be complicated because at the end of the day, for me, it's like music's here for enjoyment, and I'm a very simple person, and getting me to be happy. Like, bro, to be honest, I'm the type of guy, if you just bought me like Cheez-Its because I really like Cheez-Its, like that's all I kind of need. Like just vibes and Cheez-Its, bro.
That's it.
Note for Doug's birthday. Get him.
I'm a
Cheez-Its.
very like easy person to please, and I know my expectations for myself are way higher than my expectations for other people. I think that's would you say that's pretty true, Aaron?
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
I set the bar for myself extremely high. Sometimes that does rub off onto Warren, and especially with our podcast, because
How dare you?
Because a lot of like, because their output does affect my output. Do you know what I mean? So that's why but in most things, it's like, my kind of outlook on life is that if my expectations are really low for everyone, I'm generally pleased then. Like if I expect nothing and then I get anything, I'm generally happy. Which is sort of how I view K-pop music. Like, I hope this isn't bad. Oh, this ain't that bad. Okay, this is okay. That's like literally how I view most things. But that's me, Anita. I don't know if you want to go into your way of looking at songs. I
might be in the middle of you two.
You're not a caveman, and you're not like a computer algorithm. You're somewhere in the middle, right?
Anita, you're a human being.
You're human.
Wow.
Oh,
it goes
man.
against the rumors.
Oh man.
I'm not a robot.
Yeah.
Are we saying that because you are?
Oh.
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like if I look too deeply into stuff, I would just lose like enjoyment.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned this because we've been doing this podcast for like what, 2 years now?
Oh, it's like
Almost.
yeah, it's
Gonna be
a year and 10 months or something like that.
And like we took like a month break last April. Well, 2019 April-ish, right? May? Was it?
May.
Yeah, it was May.
May to
'cause
like
it was school.
mid-June or something.
Right. And like, we do listen to a lot of songs, and like, I don't want to run out of things to say. So at some point, I feel like, first of all, I don't want to recycle what I said like a month ago or so. I want to keep presenting new things and like new jokes, like except unless they're food jokes, I'll make food analogies until the podcast is over. I didn't make one today. It's bugging me. Like
to be honest, if we think about our podcast, we're kind of devolving into like a mini discussion about the podcast, but that's fine. If we think about it, a lot of people cover K-pop news. A lot of people give song reviews, right?
Yeah.
I would like to believe that our listeners come back because they find us enjoyable. I would assume that's why. Hopefully, I don't know. Assumptions are bad. I'm not gonna assume that. I hope you like us, because like, if not, why are you here? Because like, I don't know.
And before these people who are checking out us for the first time today, they're like
these people are getting hella meta right now.
Oh man, these people are hella getting deep. Wrong episode to begin.
And of course with like K-pop, like, I don't think one can expect anyone's interest in K-pop to be like super deep all the time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously for me, my interest in K-pop ebbs and flows. I always have a base level, right? Because I'm connected to it. We do the podcast. I'm Korean, all these type of things. But there's some times where I don't feel like watching 10 hours of IZ*ONE behind the scene content every day, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just not digging it. But at the same time, oh, there's fireworks going off behind me. I was like,
Oh man, I didn't hear it.
no, okay, it just scared me.
You
But
good? You good?
at the end of the day, I just like doing the pod because number one, we get to talk as friends, and number two, I get to bounce my opinions onto you guys, which I think is valuable. Because sometimes, especially with Warren, I know I might have triggered him with my statements last week, but
Dude, it's fine.
I feel like a lot of it stemmed from the fact that I was confused as to why he likes some songs, even though I know he looks at it deeper than I do. Sometimes I'm like, bro, what the heck are you saying? Like,
It keeps it interesting though.
it does, because
Yeah,
if
you
all
never
three
know.
of us were just like, this is fun, yay, good song, then it wouldn't be interesting.
Also, one more thing. When I mention a lot of like jargon, words you've never heard before, I'm not saying it because like I want to sound snobby or like high class. I don't want to sound smart or anything like that.
Bro, you don't come off smart when you say them. Just letting you know. Okay.
Um,
I'm kidding.
You broke my heart. No.
kidding.
I'm saying those because if you look that up on Google, there's a whole library and an ocean of like new way of looking at music, and it's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of fun.
Technically.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wide mixing. I'm telling you, it was very wide.
Stereo.
Also,
I mean, it was wide. Was it thick? I don't know.
What?
But no, I think it's good. I value that you look at songs differently. Do I value that sometimes you don't give the songs I like spicy? Maybe not, but I value your opinion as a friend.
I changed my opinions about Fiesta again. I don't think it deserves spicy.
What?
That's how we're gonna end this. That's how we're gonna end this.
That's
Oh
how we're
my
ending it. That's just
I
sorry,
thought
guys.
this whole talk was to redeem you and your opinions, but I guess not.
I retract my retracted statement.
Maybe by the end of the year, maybe I'll switch back. But
Maybe.
this has
Who
been
knows?
SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren and Anita for joining me today. We'll see you guys next time when we cover a whole plethora of songs, probably Golden Child, Blackpink pre-release, AB6, Sunmi, Hwasa at a minimum. We'll see y'all next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Wait. No, don't leave.
Oh,
There was news while we were recording that I forgot to mention.
Whoa, what happened?
breaking news! Breaking news!
No, not
Breaking news,
breaking,
everybody.
But we got some more comebacks on the horizon. EXO, Seichan, SC. They're gonna have their comeback on July 13th with their first full album. Zico, comeback July 1st with his third album, Random Box. Confirmed.
Already?
Yes. SF9, July 6th, but I think we already talked about that. But now we have a specific date.
Also, Rocket Punch is rumored for July. We don't know for sure yet, but they're rumored for
Whoa.
July.
But now actually, bye, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Gogu Mama, Jack, Jacob, Malfiar, NJ Parks, Snap Wilson, Tier, and Wolf297. Thank you for joining SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mods: Jacob, K Music Erday, Malfiar, No Bias Nuna, Tuggles, V, and Wolf297.